Hey guys, Brian here from Solid Woodworks. So today I want to show you a cool product review and installation video for a awesome product that I can't wait to install in my van. This is my personal Ford Transit van here that I've been working on and off for the past year since I bought it. And I've been really excited about this because it's something I'm really wanted and was looking for the right company and or was about to build my own and then found this. So this is going to be a product review and installation video for the AVC rig rack that they came out with recently. Let me show you what it looks like and unbox it real quick. So here it is. Comes in two boxes like this. Let's look in this top box first. So it looks like, oh, sick. They threw in a hat. Oh, nice die cut sticker. Some Loctite. Looks like in here is, you have all the different bolts for the crossbars as it shows there. Bolts for the blades to towers, nylon washers, all that stuff. We got in here, we've got a lot more bolts and nuts. These look like the ones that attach it to the actual roof. And then these are the roof plates. So I'll walk you through all these different pieces to the puzzle and where they go. I've looked into these racks, or just these types of racks, a lot, so I kind of already have a pretty good idea how it all works. And pretty happy that these guys came up with such a cool design. So that's what we got in box number one. We got it all out of the box. As you can tell, we've got the 5 cross beams, which are double 80/20 extruded aluminum, powder coated black. We've got the 2 front pieces. As you can see, they're angled in the front there. I'd imagine these would go on the right side and the left side. And then we got the rear pieces, which have nice engraved, or not engraved, but kind of die cut. I'm not a metal guy, so don't call me out for not knowing what all these little holes exactly mean or the right terms, but that looks rad. And this, from what I assume, is the wind fairing, which will go on the front of the van up in the front section here. All right, so I've got everything all laid out now, and I just want to show you a couple of tools that you're probably going to need to install this rack on your Ford Transit van. So I've got the medium roof Ford Transit van, and per the online installation video that AVC has, they recommend a couple different tools that are not included with your bolts and whatnot. So all the hardware to mount the rack to itself and to the roof of the van is included, but you're going to need a couple different things. Some of this Decor lap sealant, which all of these little pieces that you're going to need, I can put links in the description of this video that you can find these and buy them on Amazon or anywhere that's super easy like that. Some acetone, mineral spirits, something sort of alcohol to clean the roof of the van before you put down any of the Buell tape or lap sealant. Buell tape, which is what I use around a lot of the roof fan vents, is a putty that hardens over time once it is up on the vehicle in a couple days of warm weather and whatnot. You're going to need a handful of different, 2 different Allen wrenches. These are bit attachments that attach to my drill motor. This is what's called a nibbler. On the roof of these vans, a lot of times there are factory bolt positions that you can scrape off or cut out, little plastic caps, and underneath there is a factory threaded nut position, and that's what this rack uses. So sometimes the nut could possibly be here and the hole is over here like this. So sometimes you're gonna have to use a nibbler to cut that extra section out. There's a couple different tools you can use. That's just the one that I'm gonna use today, and I'll show you how that works. X-Acto knife, drill motor, and a socket set for some of the other larger nuts that come inside of this pack right here, of course. So I'm gonna go up there and start cutting open the holes to where this will bolt down to the roof of the van. So here we are on the roof of the van. These are the little plastic pieces I was talking about where the factory bolts are under. So what I'll do is just kind of get in there with the X-Acto knife, cut it so you can get the entire thing out. Just like so. There we go. All right, now you can see in there, there's the thread position. So this one's really well lined up, but a lot of them will not be like that. If you want, you can really work your way and get all of the extra bit off. It won't really matter too much once you get the top on, or sorry, the bracket on, I should say. But I'll probably work on this for a couple minutes here, and I'll come back to you when I'm all prepped and ready to go. All right, so we've got all of the caps on the top of the roof popped off, cleaned up the holes, cut a couple areas where one of the holes is a little offset. Now we're gonna prep our feet. Right here you can see that we have single ones and double ones. The double ones will go in the middle of the van where one panel meets the other panel. So right now, to prep it, all I'm gonna do is get a little bit of the mineral spirits here, acetone, alcohol, whatever you wanna use. I'm gonna wipe down the feet, nice and clean them up. I'm gonna wipe down all these feet because I'm about to put this butyl tape on it. And I wanna make sure that it sticks really nice. So, make sure that there's no debris on here. There we go. Wipe that all down. Now this is what's called butyl tape, B-U-T-Y-L. It's used for all kinds of different things on RVs and vans. I mostly use it for the installation of roof fan vents. I put nice big long strips around the metal outside before I put down the roof fan vent adapter. So as you can see, all I'm gonna do is grab the foot, lay this on the outsides here, nice and tight. My scissors, clip it. I'm gonna clip it just a little short so it doesn't stick out the sides. This will eventually squeeze and real tight when you do lock the bolt down. This is just helping to prevent water getting underneath the plate and into the bolt area. We will also put some of the lap sealant in this area as well, just so it doesn't get any water and lap sealant across the entire top once we lock down the rack. All right, so I'm up here. I already got that side on, as you can see. All just slightly tightened, just finger tight. Haven't ratcheted anything down yet. As I said, I'm using some mineral spirits. You can use acetone, alcohol, whatever, to wipe around this area where you're gonna put these bases. Get that nice and clean so that all of your butyl tape will stick nice. Once you got that, you can grab your base, look from up here, try to line it up just right. Looks like right about there. Just set it there really lightly, and I've been lining them up with just the outside of that gutter right there. You can see that's right in the middle there. Grab our long stainless bolt, find the hole, just screw it in hand tight for now. There we go. Same thing with this one. Line it up. Bolt in. There we go. Hand tight. All right, now this is one thing here that I didn't see in the AVC installation video, but it's pretty straightforward, I imagine. So there's two panels that come together. I've got them sitting right here. There's one, two. So as you can see, there's a double one of these. This one goes right here in the middle of the van, forward. And you wanna make sure that that's where that one goes before you tighten anything down, because if you have it somewhere else, that's not gonna, obviously, their little panels are not gonna line up properly. So let's line this one up. The long bolt. Go. And now the last front one here. Wipe it with our mineral spirits. sure there's no crud in there. As you can see, this is one of the ones I actually had to nibble out a little bit to get that bolt straight up and down. So let's see how this one goes in. There we go. Like a glove. All right, now we'll get the side pieces up here and start bolting those on. All right, here's the back panel. So pretty self-explanatory, but the AVC rig cutout goes towards the back. You can see the other one out there. So what you're gonna want to use for these is your baggie. It's labeled blades to towers. And here we've got some black bolts, some stainless nylon washers, and some stainless. Sorry, I've got one black bolt, stainless washer, stainless nut. So I'd probably do the middle one first, which is here. Get this thing placed, raise one corner. The other side is kind of resting on the rubber seal, as you can see, so it's not scratching anything. Line up your nut. So your bolt. I don't know why I keep messing that up. Got a washer and nylon nut in the back, and same thing, just hand tighten that. Come around to the front here. Do the same thing here. Got a bolt. Lift that up. Slide it in. Washer and nylon nut. Yep, so go around and do all those. All right, here's our front blade. I put this one back washer on. I'll grab another nut bolt washer for the front. Set that guy down. Line it up. All right, so these are all hand tightened. The only one thing about this rack that's a little funky is you'd think that these would have kind of come closer in the gap. I'm not sure if they have a reason for it or what's going on with that, but I kind of would like to see that, the very little gap. Maybe they're just, I don't know, scared of it rubbing too much or something, but that's the only kind of concern at the moment, which I would think would have looked a lot better. But I'm gonna go through and get all these nuts and bolts on, hand tighten it, and then start working on the cross beams. All right, next thing, we've got all those lightly tightened up there. The blades, as they call it, the towers. We're gonna work on our wind fairing, which goes on the front of the vehicle to deflect the wind up and just obviously have a nice clean finished look on the front. You can mount light bars to this and whatnot. Nice big piece, aluminum, so it's not super heavy. We got this guy. This will be mounted with these little quarter 20s, they call it. As you can see, it's got a little indentation, which will slide into the 80/20s like so. So we're gonna lightly screw these onto here. Just very slowly turn it on, not to strip it. Just one little quarter turn, as you can see. You can see there's still threads back there, so it's not all the way on. This will help in the long run, so you can slide the 80/20 on a lot easier. Same thing right here. Nice and easy. There we go. And just work your way down to get all 8 of them in. All right, now that we've got them all on, we'll try to line them up fairly straight, like so, to then slide our 80/20 on. So this might be a little bit tricky. What I would recommend doing is setting this plate down on a table so it pushes the bolt up. There we go. So when sliding it on, you're going to want to make sure that these are barely on the bolt on the other side to make it as easy as possible for you. So you can see, boom, there we go. We're going to wait to the next one. Make sure they're barely on there. So just one little half turn. There we go. Boom. There we are. Perfect. Now let's take it up onto the top of the van. All right, we're up here. We've got the fairing up. Like I said, we've got it resting on the little bit of plastic over here. I'm gonna try to line this up right here with the quarter 20s that are provided through the outside here. And those will go into the inside of the thread of this 80/20 very smoothly. So we'll see how this goes. Set this back here so we can get a little bit better view. All right. Put this up here. Line up the hole here. First one will definitely be the trickiest. Make sure you don't strip anything. I'm going nice and slow. You feel it threading perfectly into there. There's one of them. Careful of it twisting like that so it doesn't scratch any part of the roof of the vehicle here. Lining the second one up nice and easy. Make sure it goes in straight. There we go. All right. I'm actually gonna kind of level this up a little bit. Bring this forward. There we go. If you can see here, if the bolts are all the way to the top, that gives this almost the exact height that will be needed. So I'm actually gonna crank it down right there so that I can go to the other side and it'll be done. All right, while I'm up here and I've got the wind fairing on this side bolted, I'm gonna put the cross beams up as well so I don't have to go left to right the vehicle. I'm gonna put the cross beams up here and then I'm gonna be able to like turn the van around because I already have my setup here with my ladders and 2x10. So then all I have to do is just turn the van around, bring it back, and I'll be able to screw in the other side without having to move too many things around. All right, as you can see, I have a roof fan vent mounted in the very back position. So I'm actually gonna mount this bar in the very back slot here. As you can see, I got a little bit more of that packaging plastic and I've set it with the 80/20 that I'm just gonna slowly slide across, as you can see. So I'll be able to mount it right here without scratching anything on that side. And I have all the rest of it here with a couple extra pieces that I can mount then in front of my roof fan vent, probably right here, and then space those two out. I'll probably measure them real quick to make sure that they fit with my Renogy solar panels as well. So let's get these on right now. All right, so it looks like I'm actually gonna be able to get away with mounting it right here. As you can see, if you get the bolts as far forward as possible, like this, all the way in the front of that groove, you'll have enough room to clear once you lift this thing up and mount. See how there's enough room right there, which I think is pretty nice to get as close as you can between these two in case you're going to be mounting or strapping anything up here. And then I'll mount the next two evenly apart from there. I might even pick up some more of this 80/20 and fill up some more slots in the future. I think that'll be pretty nice, and or even possibly make a box around with some extra 80/20 pieces that you can get pretty easily online. I think that might be kind of nice to keep that nice and square right there. But for now, just gonna work my way down for the next two cross pieces. All right, here we are. Got this left side all screwed in. Right side of the van, I should say, the passenger side. I'm back at the wind fairing. I'm gonna take off my plastic here. Set my bolts down. This up. Slide it out. I'm just gonna set it down below for now. My bolts. I'll try to line them up in here, as you can see. Right there. So I've got a bit of glare that way, but you can see those line up perfectly. Wind fairing sits right there. Top is, once you slide it up, pretty much flush right here. And it's gonna look pretty good. All right, so now that all the cross beams are in, I'm gonna switch out my bit here from the 5/32 to a 3/16, which fits into these larger ones here. I'm gonna crank all these down, and then I'll be able to bolt the top down. So I'm gonna grab There's another ratchet right here. That'll fit on the 1/2-inch towers to bolt them to the roof of the van. All right, so what I'm doing is I'm actually like trying to make sure that they're pushed all the way down. I want to have the rack lower than higher. So I'm just getting my ratchet here, my drill on the other side, applying pressure on the top, tightening them up. There we go. So you can see how this one is fairly higher. Just gonna get it pushed down so it levels out. Like I said, apply some pressure on the top, tighten her up. Okay, once again, I'm gonna push both plates as close as I can to get the gap as small as possible. Flush on the top there. Gotta do this one, and then I'll go back to the other side and finish that up. All right, ratcheting these down now. You'll see all that steel tape pouring out from the sides there. If you want, you can kind of just pick at it and get the rest of it off here. You don't want that sitting there. It's not really a problem. Not gonna hurt anything. But now you know there's a nice good seal under there. We'll hit the top of these stainless steel bolts with some of that self-leveling goodies. So once again, let's get these nice and tight. There we go. Make sure it's coming out. Yeah, sweet. Now, alright guys, we got all this tightened down right here, bolted down, bolted into the towers, cross beams bolted. The last piece is this little section that they give you in the pack, and this is actually going to go right here underneath. You can see how the slot will line up right there down below, and this will actually help with this front section getting too wobbly or pushing down onto the front of your van, so the push down. So what you want to do is put a little of the Buell tape on the bottom of that. Got all of my little tools right here to set this up with. You're going to use the provided nuts that you would have used for the cross beams. Let's feed this through. Like so. Washer, nylon nut. Get my pliers up here, just because I had them handy up here. Lock those in. Now what you're going to want to do is just kind of push up a little bit on the front. You're just going to want to get your leverage with your hand on here and pull up as you're screwing this in. There we go. So I'm pulling up, making sure that the foot is nice and tight down right here. Pulling up. There we go. Lock my pliers. And now, when the wind hits this part of the fairing and is pushing down, none of this will touch your roof because of this little foot here. They only give this with the medium roof transits. The high roof transits do not need that piece because there is actually another tower section right here. So I'm gonna do that to the other side and boom, we're done. All right, all the last pieces are in. Everything is tightened down. All we gotta do is use our Decor lap sealant. I'm using black because I've got a black rack and a black roof. I've also got my Milwaukee electric caulking gun, which I really like for these harder sealants and stuff. So I'm gonna get the entire area right here. So get it nice and thick, squish it around the tip. Get you a nice close-up right here. I always have a piece of cardboard up here with me. I can just set everything on just so I don't make a mess on my roof. And there we go. That's making sure nothing is gonna leak through the roof now. You've got all this putty in here. You can make that nice and clean, or you can try to get in there, a little plastic knife, and rip it out if you want. I know nobody's gonna see it, so pretty happy with it. Work my way across. Do this next one here. Bring my cardboard with me. Go. Nice little glob on the top. And that will slowly level itself out. Work my way back. Do that to every single one. All right, I thought I'd give you guys some dimensions just in case you're wondering. We've got the top piece at about 4 1/4. Same thing back here, about 3 7/8. Back here, about 3 3/4. So it slowly gets bigger towards the front to obviously go with the rake of the roof. The cross beams, if you're ever gonna need more of those, I'll give you a measurement of that. We've got 5 feet and 1/2 inch, so 60 and 1/2 inches. So the overall width of this is just over 5 feet. The length of the rack, if we were to go from back all the way to the front, we've got just over 10 feet. We've got just under 8 feet to the crossbar. You can obviously mount a crossbar up here. I probably eventually will for when I'm hauling big lumber and stuff. You can always mount another crossbar just here. I probably will for when I'm getting pieces of lumber. They will sell extra pieces of crossbar. I think at this time with COVID, they are a little backed up with the crossbars. You might have to order them separately from Orange Aluminum is a company I go through here in Southern California, or I mean, S8020 is pretty easy to find, so you're just gonna have to find the, I think it's 1x2, black anodized it looks like, and then you can probably have them pre-cut at the lengths or at the widths you need. So I'll probably get an extra one here, and maybe I'll throw another one in the middle just to have extra room to mount my solar panels and stuff. But other than that, this looks really good. I love it. The rack is on, it is secured, strong, all the self-leveling sealant everywhere, all the bolts are tightened, the wind fairing is on, the roof fan vent is able to go up and down, spaced all the crossbars out, and it is badass. I really like this design. I was looking to even fabricate my own design like this until I came across the AVC rig rack design that they had on their website just a couple of weeks ago. Got in contact with them and was able to get a rack out pretty quickly and installed it. With doing this video, it's been about 3.5 hours or so, but I think you guys can easily install it for 2 to 3 hours with minimal tools, only a couple Allens, a couple sockets, these couple sealants and buell tape, which I'll link in the description of this video below, all these tools and different things needed. But other than that, it comes with all the bolts necessary, all the washers, nuts, every little piece, and it is quick, easy, and I think it's really good looking. I'll be mounting my solar panels up here, a shovel, a couple of tracks for if I get stuck in, in the mud or sand or anything, and also have a ladder on the backside, and possibly a toolie box eventually if I ever do longer surf or snowboard trips. So pretty happy with it. I'll link the company AVC rig down below as well. Check them out. They're making some badass stuff. They also do some van conversions in Colorado if you're in their area. Get back to them. And well, thanks for watching, guys. It's a product review / installation video of this AVC rig rack. Thought I'd give a shout out to this great company since they make a great product. I always try to give shout outs to companies who are doing good things in the van community, and this is definitely one of them. We'll see you guys next time.